Hey everybody, if you are a retail florist trying to do that entrepreneurial thing, operating your small business, specifically with an e-commerce type website, I've got 3 tips for you, specifically to work on your own DIY SEO for your website. Now, years ago, we used to think that SEO was all about stuffing our website full of keywords and also adding those same keywords into the metadata of our websites. Now in 2020, that method of doing SEO doesn't really work anymore. But I did want to share these 3 tips with you that will really make a difference if you're trying to do your own SEO on your own for your small business, specifically a retail florist business. However, I will say that even though I'm gearing this towards retail florists, these tips actually go for anybody with any kind of a small business with a retail e-commerce type website. SEO and getting your website to rank with the search engines is not just based on keywords, keyword phrases, and text content anymore. One of the key factors, especially that Google uses to rank websites, is site speed. So depending on who you have your website hosted with, or maybe you're thinking about switching to a different company, one of the first questions to ask before you bite the bullet and sign on with them is definitely find out what their average site speed is for their websites hosted on their platform. The faster your website loads, both on desktop as well as mobile, the better. But with Google now especially, the faster your website loads on mobile devices, it's going to be easier to get your website to rank with the search engines, and especially Google. So that's 1. 2 is keywords and keyword phrases. It definitely helps to do keyword research to make sure that words that you are using on your website are words that you know are already ranking well and that people are searching for. And these are things that you can definitely do yourself. You don't necessarily have to hire somebody else to do it for you. So if you are going to do the SEO for your website yourself, definitely do your keyword research. And 3 tips specifically for an e-commerce florist type website has to do with the descriptions on the individual items that you have on your website. When it comes to SEO for a florist e-commerce website, generally what I find is most websites have a very low overall word count, and consequently they also have a very low overall keyword word count. So building that text content on your website is really gonna be key for you to be successful when utilizing your keywords and keyword phrases, as well as related keywords and keyword phrases. So in order to build that text content specifically for e-commerce, within the descriptions of your items, I usually suggest to people at a minimum shoot for approximately 2 paragraphs worth of text describing and giving information and answering questions in the description area for every single item on your website. This information that you're putting in the descriptions also has to be different and specific for every single item. You cannot copy and paste any part of it. You will actually be penalized for that with the search engines. But creating that text content, 2 paragraphs minimum, and I usually suggest to people if they can do 3 paragraphs, that's even better. Really, why that helps you out is because it gives you the opportunity to answer 3 different and potentially more questions within those 3 paragraphs. I usually suggest to people that the first paragraph be specifically describing the item that is for sale on that particular page. And you want to get real specific. If it's an arrangement that has red roses in it, you actually need to spell it out and talk about red roses being in that arrangement. It really helps to also be talking about this within your description and the text in a conversational tone, and make sure that you're actually answering questions. What kind of a container is it in? What other kinds of flowers are in the arrangement along with the red roses, etc. That's the kind of information you would want to focus on in the first paragraph of your product description. Second paragraph, that's a really prime opportunity to let people know where you are specifically located, i.e., what city or town you're in, what county, etc., and what areas fall within your overall delivery area. If you're able to list the city that you're located in as well as other areas, that's really helpful, and you're able to answer questions for people that are searching for things on Google and the other search engines. So that's the second one. Third is an opportunity to give people some additional information that they will find helpful as well as valuable, specifically about this arrangement or plant that they might be interested in purchasing from you online. This is a prime opportunity for you to share some proper care and handling tips for them, so that once the recipient receives the delivery, they can get the longest life out of that flower gift as they possibly can. So right there, you can see within 3 small paragraphs, they don't have to be huge, but within 3 paragraphs, in the product description of each item on your website, you're able to answer 3 different questions and cover 3 different topics for each specific item. That's really good for you and good for your SEO. The last tip specifically for SEO is if you are running any AdWords campaigns, or if you are doing any paid advertising directly on Google. If you are, those ads, as you know, are based on keywords, and you're focusing on keywords that rank really well. In order to help your ads be successful, if you can, it's very helpful if the keywords that you're focusing the ad on, at least one of them should fall within the name of the item that you are selling on your website. If that particular page and that product name and product item are the area of your focus for that particular ad, if you can get at least one of those keywords that you're targeting in the name or title of that item is very helpful, because once the tech support people of your website platform, depending on who you're using, it's going to be a little different if you're actually generating and making your own website completely from scratch, but it's still something to be aware of. You want to make sure that that same keyword is in the meta title as well as the first or second sentence of the meta description of that item. If you can get that targeted keyword in both of those spots, in the meta title and the meta description, that's going to help you be successful with your Google Ads as well as your AdWords campaign. The tricky part is then working that keyword and keyword phrase into the actual on-page SEO, or the part that your customers will actually see, in a conversational tone that sounds interesting and also piques the interest of your customers and clientele. So those are your 3 main tips today for improving and being able to do your own DIY SEO for your website, because it definitely is possible to become a real powerhouse in your own little realm, in your immediate community, gaining organic web traffic. It's definitely possible. It doesn't have to be scary. As long as you work on it little by little, you're going to be successful. Where you're not going to be successful is if you do it once and stop. SEO for your website is an ongoing project. Periodically, as seasons change, you might need to go in and massage your text content a little bit to maximize your keywords and keyword phrases. But I hope you found that information helpful, especially if you are trying to do the SEO work on your website yourself. It doesn't have to be scary, and you can be successful with it. And these 3 tips that I shared definitely can make a difference for you. If you like this content, definitely give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, because this is a lot of the content that I share with my videos, specifically on the business and tech side of things for the floral industry and retail florists. Until next time, we'll see you really soon. Stay safe and well, and get out there and work on your website a little bit when you get the opportunity. A little bit goes a long way. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.